What's up? It's Lance back with another interview. Today we have Mabry Bruhn from Monticello High School in Illinois. She was the Class 1A champion this year in cross country. Very, very sloppy course. They got downpoured on during the race. Last year, she got ninth at cross country. And then also up on the track, she got sixth in the 4x8. She anchored that. And she also got sixth in the 800. And today she was named All Area Athlete News Gazette for the area that she lives in. So that's pretty awesome. How was your day, man?
Pretty good so far. We had our end of the season banquet for cross country back at the high school, and where we celebrated all of us and the season that we've had. So that was really fun.
Awesome. So do you have what does some of your training look like at Monticello?
Yeah, so we follow a typical training schedule. Usually we have repetition at least once a week, tempos at least once a week, recovery runs in there, and we try to include some speed work at least once a week too.
Do you ever have a long run?
Yep. Oh, forgot about that. We do
Mhm.
do a long run typically on Saturdays in the off season, or in season. Typically, our long runs are on Mondays.
Okay. How long does that vary for you?
For me, it's anywhere between 8 and 10 miles, depending on where I'm at in my training.
So what is that depending factor in your training?
Yeah, so earlier on in the season, I'm usually around 8, and as my training gets harder and as I progress and get more in shape, usually I go a little bit longer.
Okay, awesome. What are some of your workouts that you do at Monticello? Like you said, repetitions.
Yeah, so repetition workouts, we do a lot of 224s, 200, 200, 400. Those are at mile race pace, and we get full recovery on those.
Okay.
So do a 200, jog a 200, fast 200, jog a 200, fast 400, jog a 400, and we can take however much rest we want in between those. We do 400s, 800s. We'll do those at repetition pace. We have tempo 1000s, 1200s, usually earlier on in season, as well as 3 mile tempo runs with repetition 800s included alongside in the same workout as those tempo runs occasionally. And we'll get different, just shorter sprint type things that we do after we do our tempos.
So do you have a favorite workout? It doesn't have to be a repetition. It could be such as a tempo or a long run. I do classify those as a workout.
Yeah, so we call it the triple threat.
Okay.
We do a 3 mile tempo run, and then we get 6 minutes rest. And I do 8 200s, but it's on a hill. So it's
Okay.
straight uphill. It's an uphill of the 200. So I do 8 200s on the hills, and then I get those are full recovery. And then I get another 6 minutes rest after I'm done with those, and I do a 1.5 mile fartlek. And then we have our mile warm up and cool down. But I really like that one.
Is that at the course that we had ran at that one time near 200 Hills?
No, actually, we do those in town. We have loops throughout Monticello, and we do our tempo around the pool and then our hills. There's a 400-meter hill by the pool in Monticello, and so we just split it in half and do half of it.
Okay, that's awesome. Is it a very steep hill or is it like more of a gradual, like a Detweiler type
Um,
of hill?
yeah, so since it's a 400, the first 200 of the 400 is pretty gradual, but the second half is a lot more, like a lot steeper of an incline. So we'll do the second half of the hill for our 200s.
Okay, awesome. So, how have you been able to carry the Monticello success and tradition and legacy that your high school has over into your years and hopefully to pass it on?
Yeah, so I've really enjoyed my time at Monticello. The community has really rallied around me and my team, and really supported us throughout my time here. I've especially enjoyed just getting to know the girls that I've spent the last 4 years running with. The team atmosphere is incredibly important to me. So being able to connect with those girls and to call them some of my best friends, I think is a really awesome thing. So as far as what you said goes, Monticello, we do have a pretty good legacy of producing good distance runners. So I think being able to go out there at Detweiler and become the first female cross country state champion that we've ever had, I feel like that's a good representation of kind of our coaches and the work that they've put into me and everyone that I've been running with throughout the past 8 years.
Awesome. I do remember when I was a little bit younger, like teens-ish type of thing, like 2013, 2015, all the way, I probably even 2018, we would always like be like Monticello, Unity, and St. Joe, or like all the teams. And if they were all together, we knew that they were going to get top three. And I think that was really cool because even to an extent, that's kind of it today. We have some of us have fallen off a little bit, but hopefully we can all get back up there again. That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah, Central Illinois and especially the Illini Prairie Conference is one of the most competitive conferences for 1A in the state of Illinois. So being able to hail from that conference, I feel is a really big honor to be as successful as our conference is. My freshman year, uh, Winnebago won,
Yeah.
UD got second, and Unity was third. I remember that. And St. Joe was on the podium a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really cool that our area has produced good distance runners and we can showcase our talents to the rest of the state.
I do think it's awesome that I believe Unity was the third fastest team in I mean, not US, Illinois, regardless of class. And that's behind York and Prospect. And they both ran an NXN this weekend. So I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
So you did find success in middle school. How were you able to carry some of that over into now?
Yeah, so middle school was a fun time for me. I really enjoyed my time in middle school. Running wise, I think it was a really good starting place for me. I was never intended, I never intended to run at all.
Yeah.
So in middle school, my best friend, she convinced me. She didn't convince me. She convinced my mom that I should run cross country. And so my mom signed me up and off I went. So really I have her to thank for where I'm at today. But yeah, I really enjoyed my time in middle school and I think the coaching switch over from middle school to high school was definitely a big part of the impact that I felt. Going from middle school where you're having more of a fun time, it's a little less stressful. It's a big transition into high school with the training increases, the stress increases, and the competition increases. So being able to, I think making that jump was a big thing for me. And I think it was very helpful.
Awesome. So does your friend still run today?
Yeah, Katie still runs. She actually ran, so we ran with 6 varsity girls all year.
Okay.
And then when we made it out of sectionals, coach said that Katie was gonna get to run as our seventh for state. So Katie ran varsity with us at state and she's never ran a varsity state race before. So it was really cool to have that experience with her.
That's super awesome. I just gotta ask, was 1A state really, really fun for you? Despite forget winning. Like you did not win. Okay. Was it super fun being in the slop and everything? Because I feel like it was super fun running in the mud and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I think when the course is dry and the conditions are perfect, I think it stresses me out almost a little bit more because I know that the conditions are perfect and it's like, okay, well, now I have to run perfect.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy running in the rain because it's a really good distraction for me to take my mind off of what I'm doing and to just kind of enjoy the nature and embrace the elements.
Yeah. You got out really, really well. You got out very smart. Everyone got out really hot, and there was that big group up at the front. And I thought well, played it perfectly. I didn't get to watch the race because of our warm up, and that's when it started to downpour, and it was bad. So could you actually walk me through that race a little bit?
Yeah, so I started out the race and I had a plan going into it. I knew what I was going to do, and I think that's helpful for me to have the plan. So I went in and I knew that I was going to stick with the chase pack, kind of that front pack, for the at least the first mile.
Okay.
Because this year I have kind of switched my strategies a little bit, and instead of coming blazing out of the gates, my back half is really strong.
Okay.
So I stuck with the pack for the first mile and I was feeling good. Crossed the mile marker. I don't know what place I was in, maybe like fifth. But then coming out of the triangle, coming out of the back loop, that was where I kicked it in. That's where I separated myself from the pack because I've learned that I can go for the first mile with the pack, but I can break away and carry myself for the rest of the race after that. So my back 2 miles were definitely my best miles. I felt really good, but coming into the last, I think I had an 800 left, it started just absolutely pouring. And I could not see 2 foot in front of me. I remember running and I saw the rain and I was like, wow, it's raining really hard. And then I was like, wow, I can't see. So I've ran Delwater enough that I know kind of where I'm supposed to go. So I was able to see a little bit. but I just remember becoming completely soaked and it was pouring and I was like, this is real. This is happening. So then coming up the final stretch with a 400 left to go and everybody screaming at me, it was super cool. A lot of my friends from home came out to cheer me on. So being able to have all of them there to witness that moment was really awesome.
Super awesome. When you made your move to kind of separate, did anyone come with you?
I don't think so. I didn't really look back. I just kind of took off, but I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think so.
So, what were some of the ways you made such a big jump from junior to senior year?
Yeah, so junior year, I would say was a little bit of a lull for me. Junior year was the hardest year for me, athletically and educationally. So I think a lot of the stress from school and running just kind of got to me. So coming out of junior year cross country season, I changed my mindset a little bit, changed things a little on the mental side. And then coming into track season, I kind of regained my confidence and I changed my strategy a little bit. So instead of coming blazing out of the gates, like I said earlier, I was strong. I went out a little bit slower and was stronger in the second half of my race. So I kind of brought that strategy into cross country season. And I think that was the big determining factor that really helped me out.
I got you. So, was there any training differences from junior to senior year, or was it very similar?
Nope, it's pretty similar. We do about the same thing every year. We follow a very, very similar schedule from year to year. And I think that's good because it helps with consistency and it helps us to know what workouts we do better at and how like we improve off of each separate workout.
So, do you guys log at all? Do you know what that is? I assume you do.
Yeah. So I don't log personally, which might be a bad thing, but it's okay. My coaches do though. They log every workout and all of our times, all the workouts and what the weather was that day that we do it and they log it every year. So I think for the past like 3 or 4 years, we've done very very similar workouts and he has all of them logged. So after we complete a workout this year, he'll send us our results from like a year ago and we can see how we've improved since then.
So, was he going into the year? Was there an even thought, or maybe was it a goal to win state?
I mean, not really. Coming into this year, all I wanted to do was improve upon last year. That
That's
was
not a
really
bad thing.
that
Like,
was really the only goal that I wanted to do. And I typically don't look at rankings on MileSplit or any of the websites because sometimes they're inaccurate and sometimes they stress me out.
yeah,
So I just choose to ignore them. But there was one time at the very beginning of the season, it was Illinois Speed something or another. And I was looking at their rankings and they were like, they had me at number one. And I was like, what? I was like, these people are crazy. So then I exited out and I was like, I'm going to ignore this. It didn't happen. So I didn't really look at any rankings after that. And then when I finished the race, my mom came up to me and she was like, hey, do you remember when you told me about these people who ranked you at number one? She's like, they were right. And I was like, I know, that's crazy.
I do think that's a good thing that you don't pay attention to that stuff. It's like you said, it can be very inaccurate. What was some of your favorite parts of this year's cross season?
So, some of my favorite parts of the year were definitely hanging out with my team. We were a smaller bunch this year, the smallest team we've ever had. We had 8 girls. 6 of us ran varsity, and the other 2 ran JV. So, I think with a smaller team, it definitely has its drawbacks
Yeah.
with not having the depth that some other teams have. But I also think it has some benefits. Like, we were able to become a lot closer than I would have if we had more people on the team. I wouldn't have been able to become as close with all of them. So I think that we all became kind of like a little family, I guess you could say. So that was really nice. The girls and the guys team got along really well this year, which is something that has not happened in the past. So the fact that we were all able to kind of set aside our differences was really nice. Yeah, those are some of my most positive memories from this year. And definitely, I mean, winning state was a big one. That was fun. But yeah, I think definitely just spending those moments with my team. And my sister was a freshman this year, so being able to share some of these experiences with her before I leave was really awesome.
Yeah. How would I can't ask you this? Well, actually, do you have some of your goals going into this year's track season?
I haven't really set any ones for myself, just to, I guess, get better. I mean, As of right now, I don't really have any specific goals, but my goal is always to just get better.
I really like that. The girl that got second at NCAA's, I don't know if you know her, Parker Valby from
Yeah.
Florida. She in her interview, she said she got 28th, I believe, the last year. And she said she really didn't have a goal into it. She just wanted to do better than that. And she was very happy with doing that. And I think that's awesome that she wasn't sad about getting second to Caitlin, but like it's really good that she had that positive mindset. I just wanted to do better. And she did amazing.
Yeah, she did. That was a really fun race to watch.
I was pretty insane, like with 2K to go, like an 11-second lead, and then Tui bringing her back.
Yep. Yeah. We were on vacation actually when that race happened. So I wasn't able to watch it live, but I went back through. We were waiting in line for like a ride or something. And I was scrolling through Twitter and they were like, Caitlin Tui beat Parker by like not very much at the very end of the race. And I was like, what? So I went through and I watched what the NCAA had posted the video, and it was awesome.
The guys and the girls race definitely delivered very much this year. It was super entertaining to watch,
Yes.
especially the team race for the guys. 1 point difference, like that's
I know.
insane. Actually,
Oh,
no, it was a tie. It was a tie because they have to add like all the fives, I believe. Oh yeah, so like there was a tie, and it's really
uh,
confusing. But like your one score together, and whoever had the lower placing one gets a point. I don't know if you know that, but yeah, and you just keep going down, and whoever has the most points wins. It's kind of nuts.
huh.
It's really interesting. Everyone wants them to go to like if the six score, like they score the sixes and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, that's what they do now. I think there is talks of them changing it, but it is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So how would you rate your high school cross country experience, all 4 years?
I would give it like a 9.5 out
Oh,
of 10.
awesome.
So I've had a really good experience, obviously, with cross country, with any athletics. There's always going to be something, sometime that like lets you down. So I think I kind of got down on myself last year, and that was kind of not a fun time for me overall. But being able to set that aside, I've had a really awesome experience, and I've really enjoyed my time here.
That's awesome. So as a freshman, what were some of the things that you did training wise?
So as a freshman, I did very similar training to what I did this year, just a little bit less volume. So instead of doing like 4 to 5 sets of 2 2 4s, I only did like 2 to 3. So really my training, the workouts themselves has stayed pretty much the same, but it's increased in its volume over the past 4 years.
So how many miles do you put in a week?
So usually per week, I think I'm around 35 to 40 in season, and then out of the season, I'm anywhere between 40 and 50.
Awesome. So you did say that you do have your sister as a freshman now, and I do recall her last year at eighth grade, and I think it was at Tuscola or something, and I noticed right away that it was your sister. So one girl like across the track said, "Let's go, maybe sister," and I was like, "Yeah, I was thinking the same thing." So yeah, how has it been having her as a training partner, or do you even have her as one?
Yeah, so I run with the guys. I don't get to run with the girls, which is kind of sad sometimes, but it's okay. The boys push me, so there's that. So Mylan and I don't run together, but we're on the same team, obviously. So being able to just get help her through these workouts and be able to cheer her on has been really cool. And then sometimes it's a little bit annoying, as siblings can be, but it's something that I'm willing to get past. So I think throughout the season, we definitely matured together and grew as sisters in cahoots together, I guess you could say, in a sport. So it was a little bit of a struggle at the beginning of the year. There was some bickering, but we got over it, got through it, and we're all good now.
So does she run with you in the off season, or are you still with the guys?
So I kind of run by myself in the off season. I take that time to just kind of think, I guess you could say.
I got you.
So I do enjoy running by myself in the off season. I'll take her with me, but she doesn't run with me. So we run separate, but so I run by myself in the off season occasionally, but I'll meet up with the girls maybe a couple times a week to get in some group runs just to make sure, hold everybody accountable, make sure we're all doing what we're supposed to do.
Now you do swim, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Have you seen any do you notice, I should say, do you notice any help with running when it comes with swimming as well?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So I started out swimming before I began running. So they're both obviously, it's a lot of good aerobic cardio stuff.
Mhm.
So I think they go in hand. Because I've learned this specifically because this year I ran every single day, just about every single day. And I went to swim practice maybe twice. That's not very good. But I went to swim practice like twice before swim sectionals, which was the same day as state. And I went into swim sectionals and I literally PR'd in one of my events. So I think that swimming and running, the aerobics and just the workouts behind it, even though they're totally different things, athletically, they go hand in hand. So I could swim for 2 months, get out and run, and I'd be probably mostly okay. But I've been running for months on end, and I get in the pool, and I haven't lost any physical fitness.
So you would definitely feel like it helps you even with your leg fitness, I should say, like not feeling as tired on your runs.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Swim practice is brutal. So, and that swimming utilizes all of your body. It utilizes your arms, your back, your abs, your legs. You use everything when you swim. So, physically, it's exhausting, but I think that it's very helpful. I do when it comes to running because even if I go to the pool at the Y and I swim by myself, you like to use that as a recovery almost. I think it helps my muscles relax. So I do think it's a very useful thing to know how to do.
Awesome. So you did say that you do hills. Is there a certain day or how many times you like to maybe get in hills with your run?
So depending on the workouts we do and where they're at, depends on what kind of hills we do. So if we're doing a workout in town, if we're doing the triple threat, like I said, for example, that incorporates hills in it. But if we go out to Lodge Park to do a tempo run, Lodge Park is a hard course. It's got lots of hills incorporated in it. So doing that incorporates hills, but we don't have a set day each week that we do hills. But some of our workouts will include hills in them.
So do you like to attack those every week?
Not always, because sometimes not all of our workouts will have hills in them. Some weeks we'll be on the road where there's no hills, or we'll be on the track one day and there's no room in our schedule to incorporate those hard hills, unless you're doing it on a recovery run. But I do say we definitely get them in like every other week.
Okay, so I do have two final more questions for you. I do like to keep these secretive, but do you have a favorite dad joke?
Mm, okay, ready?
Yeah,
How do you make a tissue dance?
I don't got it.
You put a little boogie in it.
Oh my gosh. That sounds like something my English teacher would say. He likes to give a lot of dad jokes. Like it's bad.
I like it.
I like that one. That one's good. I've never heard that one before. It's original. It's original. I would give it 9 out of 10.
Good. I'll take it.
Also, if you can tell young Mabry, doesn't matter the age, younger Mabry, one thing, doesn't have to be about running, what would it be?
I would tell her that she can accomplish anything she wants to. Anything she puts her mind to, she can do.
I like that one. I've never heard that one. I do like that one. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your night. And I really hope you had a great rest of your off season. And I do look forward to seeing you up on the track, maybe in indoor. I don't know if we'll be at the same indoor meets, and even if you have indoor, but I know we will be at some outdoor meets. So I am looking forward to that.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for hopping on.
All right. See ya.